Walk through the silent ruins of Pompeii today, and you will see the dark echo of a tragedy. An entire city frozen in time, reduced to stone foundations and silhouettes of ash. Today, millions walk these same streets, trying to imagine the vibrant life that existed before the darkness swallowed everything. But what if we could rewind the clock? What if we could look beyond the destruction and witness the glory that time erased? A small settlement that transformed into the summer jewel of the Roman Empire. For centuries, we had to rely only on imagination, based on faded frescoes and broken columns. But now, using advanced artificial intelligence trained on centuries of archaeological data, we can reconstruct these ancient streets. We can rebuild the luxurious villas, bring the bustle back to the Forum, and reveal the vivid colors of Pompeii exactly as they were before the fury of Mount Vesuvius. Long before the Roman eagles arrived, Pompeii was already a prize worth fighting for. Nestled between the Sarno River and the crystal-clear waters of the Bay of Naples, its foundations were laid by the Oscan people in the 6th century BC. The soil here wasn't just land, it was dark, volcanic gold. The very mountain that would one day destroy the city was, for centuries, its greatest provider. The slopes of Vesuvius produced wine so legendary it was exported to the furthest corners of the known world. By the time Rome took full control in 80 BC, Pompeii wasn't just a military outpost, it was the Las Vegas of the ancient world. A place where the Roman elite came to escape the politics of the capital. Here, wealth was displayed in marble, and power was measured by the size of your atrium. But as the city grew, so did a silent shadow. For generations, the citizens of Pompeii felt the earth tremble. They saw the smoke, but they didn't see a threat. They saw a god, a sleeping giant they believed would never wake up. To truly understand Pompeii, you have to look beyond the marble and the monuments. You have to step into the dust of its streets. Imagine the sound of iron-rimmed wagon wheels clattering against deep volcanic basalt paving stones. Look closely at the ground, and you'll see raised stepping stones, the world's first pedestrian crossings, designed to keep citizens' feet dry and clean from the rainwater that washed the streets. This was a city of masters and merchants. In the morning, the air was thick with the scent of freshly baked panis quadratus, the iconic circular Roman bread, emerging from the massive brick ovens of the pistrina, the local bakeries. Over 30 of these bakeries have been found, still holding the carbonized remains of the day's final batch. As the sun rose higher, the Forum became the beating heart of the empire's luxury. Here, people didn't just trade goods, they traded status. In the shops of the Macellum, you could find exotic spices from the east and the city's most famous export, garum. This pungent fermented fish sauce was the gold of Pompeii, bottled in clay amphorae and shipped to the dining tables of Rome's emperors. But the true soul of Pompeii was hidden behind its walls. The wealthy lived in domus, urban mansions like the House of the Faun. Step through the entrance, and the noise of the street vanishes. You are greeted by open-air courtyards known as atriums, where rainwater collected in marble pools, and walls were covered in vibrant red and gold frescoes. These weren't just homes, they were private universes of art and nature. Even the simple act of bathing was a grand social event. At the Stabian Baths, the ingenuity of Roman engineering was on full display. A complex system of hollow bricks allowed hot air to circulate behind the walls and under the floors, creating the world's first central heating. In these halls, under vaulted ceilings decorated with intricate stucco, the destiny of the city was discussed. From local elections to the latest rumors about the restless mountain in the distance. This was a city at its peak, vibrant, loud, and incredibly modern. A civilization that felt permanent, unaware that its entire world was about to be sealed in a tomb of fire. For 17 years, the citizens of Pompeii lived with a warning they didn't understand. In 62 AD, a massive earthquake had nearly leveled the city. But the Romans were resilient. They saw the tremors not as a threat, but as a reason to rebuild even more grandly. As the summer of 79 AD reached its peak, the city was at its most beautiful, unaware that the mountain above was no longer a provider, but a predator. On the morning of August 24th, the ground began to groan. In the streets, birds went silent. Then, around noon, the top of Mount Vesuvius didn't just erupt, it disintegrated. A pillar of ash and pumice shot 20 miles into the stratosphere, turning day into a bruised, sickly purple twilight. For the first few hours it rained stones. Many stayed inside, believing their sturdy Roman roofs would protect them. They were wrong. As the weight of the volcanic debris grew, ceilings began to collapse. But the worst was yet to come. As night fell, the eruptive column collapsed under its own weight. A pyroclastic surge, a wall of superheated gas and ash, moving at hundreds of miles per hour, raced down the slopes. It didn't just burn, it erased. In an instant, temperatures reached 500 degrees Celsius. In that heartbeat, the vibrant life of the Forum, the laughter in the villas, and the prayers in the temples were silenced forever. The city didn't just die, it was entombed. 6 meters of ash sealed Pompeii like a time capsule, preserving the shape of the fallen and the final desperate gestures of a people who had no word for volcano until that very day. For nearly 1,700 years, the world simply forgot that a jewel of the empire lay beneath its feet. When the first shovels struck the earth in 1748, the world was forced to confront its own mortality. Pompeii was no longer just a tragedy, it was a mirror. Today, through the lens of artificial intelligence, we do more than just excavate, we resurrect. The data we've used to rebuild these streets today serves as a reminder of the fragility of our own civilizations. We see their bread, their art, and their names scratched into the walls, and we realize they weren't so different from us. Pompeii teaches us that even the most vibrant stone and the most powerful empires are eventually reclaimed by the earth. But as long as we keep looking back, as long as we use our technology to keep their stories alive, Pompeii will never truly be lost. It remains a testament to human resilience, a city that died in fire only to be reborn in our collective memory. Subscribe and join us on our next journey through time.